Hi, I'm Melissa Thorne with Oracle Developer Community here at Open World 2017. And I'm here with Will Hartman. He's the director of Apex Consulting, and he gave 2 awesome talks this week at Open World. And today we're going to get a preview of his one on Apex. Take it away.
Okay, thank you, Melissa.
Yes.
What? Are you playing with me? Yes, indeed, Melissa. I did 2 presentations, one on Sunday and one on Monday. The Monday one was about Docker, called Docker for Dummies, and apparently there were a lot of dummies because the room was packed. The Monday one was about Apex and Oracle Jet.
Right.
And those are 2 cool technologies of Oracle. And I was exploring a way how to combine those 2 things. Oracle Jet charts are already exposed in Apex, but there's just a limited set of charts. And there are way more elements within Jet available that you could use if you just know how to do it. And initially that looks very complicated, but after a while, if you dive in a little bit deeper, it's not that hard at all. No, I wouldn't say easy, but it's easier than I thought before.
Yes.
And it all starts with reading the documentation. The documentation of Jet is very wide. There's a lot of stuff going on, and a lot of stuff that's not relevant when you're using it in Apex. So you have to find your way around. So one of the things that's not available in Apex, and is one of the Jet components, is something like a pixograph image, like this. Usually it's so many people do have no sleep or other problems or whatever. It's just a graphical way of showing stuff.
Right.
So what I did is creating a plugin in Apex. A plugin is a way to extend standard Apex stuff with your own custom components. So if you're going to the application builder itself of Apex, can navigate to shared components and plugins, and we get a nice little error.
Oh no.
Again.
This doesn't usually happen.
It doesn't usually happen, but this is a shout out to the people who run apex.oracle.com, but that's where we're playing on.
It was great timing.
It was great timing, exactly. So,
refresh.
A great crash. So instead, in this plugins department, you can define a couple of building blocks for creating your plugin. In fact, there are usually there are 3 things. One is a piece of PL SQL.
Okay.
And that piece of PL SQL you use to define the HTML that should be put out on the screen. And the second part is some JavaScript, usually as a helper function. And the JavaScript part is the link between Apex and Jet. And we can try again. If we see something right now, hopefully. Let's keep our fingers crossed when I hit the button. Alas.
Uh-oh.
It's doing it again. But so it's keeping it up this way, so it's very consistent now in giving me an error. So what we could do right in there is, because in Jet has exposed all elements with the sort of helper functions, and the input of those initializer functions is just a piece of JSON.
Okay.
It's a JSON string. Depending on the object you're using, it's a different piece of JSON. And what we can do easily from SQL or PL SQL is generate JSON. And those parts we're just linking together in a plugin. So we got I did a nice little demo about that on the
good idea.
application. But unfortunately, it doesn't run right now in this browser. We are back now.
Okay.
So we could try once more. Go into the plugin. Here we are. So you see I got a couple of plugins right here. One of them is this picture chart element. And we scroll down here. You can see there's a little bit of, oops, that goes the wrong way. We scroll down here. We see there's a little bit of SQL. scroll this down here a bit. So we've got one block of PL SQL that you can see on the screen right now is a render function putting out HTML, and what it just does is spitting out divs and running one piece of JavaScript calling the getPicto.init. So that's a very simple block of PL SQL. And the second block of PL SQL is the AJAX function, the function that gets the data and creates a JSON object. So that part that is, in fact, it's just a few lines of PL SQL again. We're creating a ref cursor, and the ref cursor is the SQL that's entered by a developer to get the data out of the database. And with the Apex JSON functions that are provided within Apex, we don't have to manually create the whole JSON string. It's created for us. So this is all we need on that side. So if we scroll down a bit, there is the JavaScript function. It's called pictocharts.js. You can download that. We could download it.
Did that PDF ever come through?
We could download it if we had it. It should look like this. And what's in there is just one call to a Jet component. And Jet is shipped with Apex, so you don't have to install anything. Everything is already there.
Okay. Did you upload your slides to your blog or anywhere where people can kind of get an overview of the session?
All the steps that I described right here.
Not everything is working right now.
Everything should be working, but it's just technical difficulties here.
Yes.
All the steps that I've written down in a couple of blog posts on my blog, and of course everything is also written down in the slides that will be available later on from Oracle Open World.
Awesome. Did you want to give a quick overview of your Docker presentation, or is that also available on your blog if anyone wants to take a quick look?
The Docker presentation is not available on my blog because most of that is just live demo to show the people what Docker is about and how fast it is and how easy it is to use it. And
so they just have to catch another session when you feel like talking about that?
Exactly. I'm doing the Docker presentation a couple of times later this year in other events. So you have to come to Europe to get it.
Do you know what events you're scheduled for?
I'm scheduled for Slovenia, Croatia, then Germany, the DOAC, and then the UK OEG.
Oh,
so I still got 4 events to go this year.
Okay. And is there any Twitter handle or specific blog you'd like to shout out for people to follow you?
You can follow me on Twitter on ROELH, Roelh. That's my Twitter handle, and my blog. You can find my blog URL if you're looking at the Twitter handle.
Awesome. Is there anything else you'd like to share, or is that a good kind of overview?
I can share one more thing, which is a little little shout out. I'm running for the ODTUG board of directors right now.
Nice.
So there's a voting going on right now, next 3 weeks. So I invite everyone who's a member of ODTUG to vote for me.
Okay.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing.
Okay, thank you.
Enjoy the rest of Oracle Open World.
I will. Thank you very much.